Hi guys, here we are at Vermouth for a very special episode of the Comic Book Syndicate. It's Mike L here with our friend George Rizok and the latest addition to the growing trend of real life superheroes.
Windsor's own Crimson Canuck.
Thank you.
Yes.
So what should we call you? Crimson, Mr. Canuck?
I get a lot of different nicknames. A lot of people just abbreviate it and call me CC. I got a lot of people calling me Crimson right now too. So either one works. It's whatever you feel comfortable calling me.
Interesting. I want to point out before we get into the discussion here, George and I don't know Crimson Canuck's true identity.
True identity, no. Not as many times I try asking or tricking him. I asked that one skill tested question. I was like, listen, if you can answer this one question, I'll give you a toonie. What's your real name? Nothing.
For starters, why don't we talk about basically so that people know you're not just someone that dresses up like this. Like, why don't you tell us exactly what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, on a day-to-day basis, you know, I'm just like you. I'm just like everybody else probably watching right now. I got a normal job. I got a family. I got stuff to take care of, bills to pay, just like you. And
Puts
and
his
everybody
cowl
else.
on, one eyeball at a time, just like everybody else.
But you are, by night, a superhero.
By night, during the day, anytime that I can find spare time in my week, I put on the superhero costume and I go out into my community and do what I can to help my community, whether it's cleaning parks or helping give water bottles and handouts to the homeless and needy.
And this all started from something that you saw, because I know this is at least people are doing similar stuff like this around Canada in different provinces. Now, is this something that you saw and were inspired by? Is it part of I know it's part of a bigger organization now? Like, is it starting like through?
Well, it's not so much an official organization as it is just a movement, like a call to duty for some people, you know, means, you know, getting in your uniform and going in to the scene of a crime, or reporting to your garrison and, you know, preparing your rifle. Or for someone like me, it means putting on your superhero costume and going out and supporting great causes and having fun while you do it. And at the same time, though, you know, we are wearing a costume, but we're also trying to tackle serious issues such as hunger and homelessness, and among other things.
And in that, have you found that? Because I would imagine at first it's hard, because I mean, I myself, being a huge comic book fan, going to conventions and then needing to get a sandwich out on the regular streets, you know, you do get stares, you get glares, you get stuff like that. Now, when you're helping people, are they taking it seriously? Is it hard to approach them? Or is kindness just in any form you find?
Well, you know, if they genuinely need something and they see that you have it, they're gonna they're gonna be nice and they're gonna be your friends. But some people are a little hesitant to accept my help and a little bit reluctant to even talk to me. And you know, that's okay. I'll be around. I'm not going away anytime soon, so hopefully they'll warm up to me. But you know, the majority of people have been kind to me, have asked questions, which is exactly what I was hoping would happen. Is people asking questions so I can, you know, get my mission statement across to them. And hopefully I promote, you know, change in the city where people start looking out for each other as opposed to expecting, you know, nonprofit organizations to look after them. You know, nonprofit organizations can't do it all. You know, it has to take a regular person to step up once in a while.
So what are your, not duties, but what do your activities entail? Like, do you ever physically get involved in any violent altercations, or how does that work?
Well, ultimately, I haven't had to yet, thank goodness. But, you know, if I see something happening and nobody's in immediate danger, you know, I will call the police and report what I've seen and, you know, take note of what I saw and try and, you know, get as much detail as possible. But if someone's life or safety is in immediate danger, I will have to intervene. You know, unfortunately, that's what I'm out there to do. But it's not so much crime fighting as it is helping out in my community with whatever. You know, we should all be vigilant in our everyday lives, whether we're walking to work, whether we're at the bus stop, driving our car. You see something happen, you call 911, you let them know. And you know, that's something that not a lot of people do. Most people will just, you know, keep driving. They'll rubberneck for a little bit and they'll keep driving, but very few people will stop their car and say, hey, you know, do you need help?
So if I understand your mission statement correctly, it's to do what everyone should be doing in helping out and helping your community. And I guess what I'm asking is the superhero persona of it. Instead of just doing it as a regular everyday, not only to inspire people and to bring attention to it, but does that come from a love of comic books or fantasy or movies or?
Well, I'm like any other kid. I like science fiction. I like, comic books. I like, cops, superheroes, do-gooders, bringers of justice. Whatever really it symbolized to do the right thing, be the utmost citizen, be an extremely altruistic person. And that's essentially what the real-life superhero movement is. It's extreme altruism. Doing, whatever you can for whoever you can, whenever you can. So if you can't afford much, maybe just a few water bottles, go and hand some of those out on a hot day. Make sure people are hydrated. You see somebody struggling with their bags, take some time out of your day, offer some help. Oftentimes I have conversations with old ladies carrying their groceries, and I get a lot of good stories from them. And I don't even have to do it in costume. It's just, I'm walking from point A to point B. They happen to be there. Let's try to see if I can help them.
So part of the altruism is part of the keeping your identity a secret.
Keeping the identity a secret is basically to symbolize that I'm anybody. And that means anybody can do this. It also, there's a lot of different reasons to hide the identity too. Who I am doesn't matter. The issues that I'm tackling matters. And so a lot of different superheroes will give you a lot of different reasons as to why they keep their identity secret. But ultimately, it generally ends up being the same, like 5 to 10 reasons. Is that who I am doesn't matter. My actions matter, and you can go out in your community and do the same thing as me. I don't have superpowers.
Now, I don't want to give plugs to specific comics, but are there characters or stories that directly influence you to do what you do?
Well, comic books in my life are actually a fairly new development. I'm superhero movies, reading books, but I never really got into graphic novels and comic books until, the last 6 years.
Okay.
And my favorite one, when I started getting into comic books, someone told me I had to read The Watchmen. And obviously I read it. Now the Before Watchmen series is out, and I know a lot of diehard Watchmen fans aren't going to like it, or
I
we're
refuse to
completely.
read it anyway.
Exactly. You refuse to read it. Read the Minutemen at least, and then tell me what you think, because it's not the original guys going back and doing it, but there's a lot of great artwork and great storytelling.
So now, what about in the upcoming months? Is there anything you want to talk about that you'll be doing or appearing anywhere?
Well, December 2nd, I will be at the Merry Comic Book Christmas Con, organized by Mike Wachowski, which will take place in Tecumseh at one of the Legion branches on Howard Avenue.
And you know what? We'll give you the last word. How about if you have one message you want to send out to maybe the public or to Windsor, we'll give it to you right now, whatever you want to say.
If you think you might be good at becoming a real-life superhero, you think it might be the thing for you to dress up in costume and go out and help your community, all you need to know is where you want to start, what issues you want to address first, what you're going to look like, what your name's going to be, and then make your costume, go out and do it. Because I tell you, nothing raises attention better than a person in a costume, makes people look twice, makes people ask questions, and you get your word out about what you want to talk about.
My name is George.
Crimson Canuck.
Mike.